Oh,
That's great.
there we go.
I feel great right now.
There we go. All right.
I feel like I have the same expressions, body language, as like my students when they're taking a test. Right now, it's just not going well.
I'm sweating.
Okay.
Well, hello and welcome to the Gales Give Back Hot Ones Challenge. I am your host, Greg McDivitt, and today we are turning up the heat, literally, as we have invited 3 of our fearless faculty members to take on the ultimate challenge. 5 wings, each one hotter than the last, while answering some burning questions about life, legacy, and what it means to be a Gale. Special thanks goes out to some folks I'd like to recognize now. First of all, Keith Holsey from the class of 2000 and State Fair in Catonsville for providing the wings today. You can check them out at statefairmd.com. And also another shout out to alumni board member Eric Schneider from the class of 1971. He brought in a batch of his homemade vanilla ice cream to give us some reprieve from the heat. That is, if we decide that we need some reprieve. We'll see who among us does and who perhaps does not. All right, let's introduce today's test tasters. First of all, from the history department, Mr. Phil Campbell of the class of 1991. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Absolutely. From the class of 2003, the director of STEM and Sustainability, Mr. Jason Ader. And the chair of the World Language Department and Spanish teacher, Ms. Alyssa Schick.
Hello, thank you.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and get us started. Wing number 1 today has been sauced with none other than the Mount Molten Honey. We indeed have some beehives here now on campus, and so the hot honey was used with our very own bee production here on campus. And so if we would like to grab the wing, please choose.
What's the type? You're flat, you said? Okay.
We can flip them.
All right, whatever you want.
All right.
There we go.
Good. All right.
Ready? Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's a lovely honey flavor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one's
I can do
good.
this all day long.
I can handle this one.
Absolutely.
This is a great wing right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? I mean, like, you know, when you grow something and it tastes good, like, you know, this is my bees. They're my bees we're talking
They're
about.
your
right
bees,
here.
Mr.
I've
Ader.
named them all. You know,
That's right.
all 60,000 of them. Yep. So
That's right.
One stung me the other day.
Well,
It's not doing so well for that one. You know.
exactly.
On the lip?
Yeah,
She was
on the lip actually,
Oh,
so
man.
it doesn't go well for this challenge at this moment. But
Did you give her some attitude or something? Or
no,
messing
she just
around?
flew up my nose.
Oh,
Greg, she
goodness.
just flew up my nose.
I would say the heat on this would be a 0.
Let's
Yeah,
just
this one's manageable.
let's keep rocking with this. Like
Shake,
we
you
got
can manage
5 of
this.
these. Can we just swap out the other ones? That'd be great.
Mr. Campbell, as an alumnus, how would you say the school has changed since you walked to the hallowed halls of Mount St. Joe?
It wasn't hot.
Back
I
when
just
you were
wanted.
a
I just
student.
wanted a drink of water. It
Wow.
wasn't hot.
Wow. And wow, did you just take a sip of water?
Water. I was parched.
Okay. That's a great question. This is year 27 for me. Teaching in the social studies department, coaching soccer. The students, I think, just have evolved. You know, I think they're still great young men who, you know, are looking for guidance and looking to get ahead. And, you know, we always reference the 3rd floor of St. Joe Hall as one of those halls that you better have your stuff together when you come onto it. And I think that that was the same when I was a student here. That has been a constant that has remained for sure.
Oh, shall we move on? And you still hungry?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So are
turn up the
these
heat.
3 from State Fair wings?
The next 3 have sauces from State Fair, again up in Catonsville, thanks to Keith Holsey from the class of 2000, you know, for providing both the wings and these sauces. The next one is called Firecracker, so it's moving up on the heatness scale. What's that scale called?
Scoville?
The Scoville scale. Thank you. Yes. Wing number 2.
Wing number 2.
Let's do this.
All right. Some big wings.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Very
There we go.
much so.
It's a good solid wing. I definitely order these. You know.
Firecracker.
And I can manage it. All right.
We're doing all right now.
We're doing okay.
Mr. Ader, if I could ask you as we're both still chewing here.
Mhm.
No, are there any teachers that you have had as a student at Mount St. Joe that you think influenced you in your career?
It's not really fair, Mr. McDivitt, because you were a teacher that I had here at this school.
I was just curious how you might respond to this question.
So absolutely, I think one of the reasons I came back to be a teacher here is because of the interactions that I formed with some of the teachers that Mr. Campbell here was talking about. You know, first off, there were like some legends, some greats that I was able to be here with. Joe Sigelski, Bernie Kenyon, Tom Hughes, Bern McDivitt. I got to experience those 50-year guys, which was just pretty incredible. I got them at the end of their career, or closer to the end of their career, so I just got to see that amazing wisdom from them and just learn and try and take some lessons from them in the classroom. And then I got to have Mr. Harris and you, who were just truly instrumental, again, in like my teaching philosophy, the way I think now as a student. Just when I look back at Mount St. Joe, just, you know, so formative in the experience that I had. A couple of days from now, I'm actually going out to a local establishment to have some drinks with some of my classmates. And no matter what, it won't be 5 or 10 minutes in before we start. Those names that I just mentioned come up. And every reunion I go to, it's that same group of teachers that are brought up over and over again that just seem to be universal for a St. Joe experience. And so it's pretty fun to reminisce like that.
Absolutely, for sure. So this is a question for anybody. What's the best excuse you've ever heard for someone not having their homework?
I was taking a bath. And I remember the student's name, and I will not say it on this, but yes, he did not have his homework because he was taking a bath. And I'll never forget. I was like, oh, really? But yes, that was and he was serious. Yeah, I said, yeah.
Must have been a long bath.
I didn't even get into
Sure.
But yes, that's why he did not have his homework assigned. He was taking a bath. You got any good ones?
No, I can't even top that. Like, taking a bath.
Yeah.
How did that go over for you?
Oh, it didn't go over well.
I can't imagine like that ended well for that gentleman.
I was shocked,
Yes.
as was the class, because their facial reactions were
There's layers to this. Like, number one, that's the reason. And number two, we'd actually say it out loud.
right.
Like, oh.
Yeah. And I remember his name, so like I will never forget that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't take excuses. And that's probably because in kindergarten, I used the queen mother of all excuses, and I told my teacher that my dog ate my homework. And then at parent-teacher conferences, my kindergarten teacher asked my mom how our new puppy was doing that we didn't have. My mom was like, what puppy are you even talking about? And then it all blew up in my face. So at the tender age of 6, I learned about excuses. And needless to say, we don't take them now.
You've been on the straight and narrow ever since.
Yes.
That's right.
Never veered.
I mean, I just appreciate when a student's honest with me. They're like, I didn't do this. I have no idea what's going on. You know, and I teach chemistry, so I guess that's on me, maybe, but yeah.
I once had a mom, when she dropped her son off, walked into my classroom with her son, kind of laughing, and held up the piece of paper and went, Mr. McDivitt, honest to God, the dog did this.
That's awesome.
Because the dog ate the kid's paper. Yeah.
Mom vouched for him.
Yeah, I was
My
like,
mom
okay.
wasn't vouching for me.
That's right. Yeah. All right. Well, should we move on?
Yes.
Absolutely. So, wing number
thinking there's a
3,
trash can.
again, from the sauce from State Fair in Catonsville. The sauce is known as Golden Ghost. We'll see if we're moving up the Scoville scale or not.
Ghost pepper, right?
Ah,
That's what I
yeah.
assume. Yeah.
Yep.
Mr. McDivitt,
Thank you
What do you
very
want?
much.
I would. Yeah, I'll take the you can take the flat.
Okay.
I've been enjoying being able to cut these.
Okay. Oh, that was.
Anticlimactic.
Are you getting
of me.
nervous?
Maybe a little bit.
I think I like
You guys said ghost pepper, and now I'm shaking in my boots over here.
All right. Cheers
All right.
again.
Cheers.
This one has a little more. It's a little more saucy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's gonna be what takes me. I'm just gonna have to pick this up.
more
A little
spice.
more
There's
action now.
more
Yeah.
spice on this.
Mhm.
Nope, we feel that one.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's some more spice.
Phil's loving it.
Yeah. It's
not-
delicious.
It's good.
Again,
It's good.
all
It
these
is
wings
good.
have been good.
We're taking a second bite.
Well,
This still does have a counterbalance with sweet though. That
Yep.
sweet hot combination, which is just the all those parts of the tongue going at the same time. It's very nice. I like this one.
they're definitely. This is like there's definitely heat to this one though,
Yes.
as opposed to the other ones
Yes,
so far.
absolutely.
So I mean, we're trending in a direction. I don't know if I like this direction, but we're going in that direction right now.
We're going up the mountain.
I'm proud of myself for having yet to need to drink milk or have ice cream. So, I'm doing it. I will try this ice cream because it was so lovingly made by
It was delicious.
Mr. Schneider.
Oh, you've already had ice cream?
Let me taste
Before.
Okay. Just want to put out there for the level playing field.
I had your dad my freshman year
Mm-hmm.
in a class that he taught called speech. And I was the only freshman in the class of upperclassmen. I have no idea how I got into this class. And it was essentially learning how to write a speech and then giving the speech in front of the class.
Okay.
And that's when I made the connection that, your dad was from Maine.
Mhm.
My family went to Maine for vacation. I think I wrote my first speech about Maine. But I will never forget when I got hired to come back here at St. Joe, the weekend before the first day of school, first faculty meeting, I went to a 3-day fish concert up in Presque Isle, Maine. We
Loring
drove-
Air Force Base.
Yep,
right?
Loring Air
Yeah.
Force Base. And your dad stood up and he had the Presque Isle Times or whatever the newspaper was up there. And he's like, "Is this you, Mr. Campbell?" And I was like, "Oh my God." And it was not me, thankfully. But, that type of experience working with Jody Harris, Steve Jeffrey, having the brothers that were here that I had, even though I was not a fan of math class. Brother Lang, I'll never forget what he told my parents at parent-teacher conferences that, Mr. Campbell has not broken a sweat in my class. And I was like, damn, I didn't. I did not like math, but like that type of stuff, that those type of interactions are the way that I have modeled, my teaching and my classroom engagement with these students, because I think it was so, we use the term enduring personal relationships, but that was really what it was about for me, because I didn't know a single person when I came here. I grew up 5 minutes from Calvert Hall, came across town, and still have friends that I keep in touch with today from the class of '91. That it's the experiences here, not just the faculty but the students, were definitely real for sure.
They do last. Awesome.
Feel the heat.
A little bit.
I feel a little.
Little lingering.
There's a little
yeah,
lingering
little lingering
heat
there
from that.
around
Yeah.
on the lips.
Stop
and-
looking at me like that. Stop. You're looking at
I'm
me
ready.
like that.
I'm
I'm
ready.
making observation. What do I do? I'm a science teacher.
It's
I'm making an
handleable.
observation
I can
right now.
manage this, so
Yeah, absolutely. It's
I'm
handleable.
all right.
Okay.
Making a statement.
So, do you eat any really spicy foods, Ms. Schick, when you were in Spain, or have any other, memories to share, impactful educational experiences on your trip?
I avoided spicy foods in Spain just like I do in my regular life, so no there. But I did actually take gastronomy courses in Spain, so my biggest academic experience, I would say, would be the stuff that I learned about food and how much that region and the Mediterranean influences all that food that's there. In Valencia, they have albufereta, which is actually what makes the rice, where the rice grows for paella, which is really cool. And then I probably ate my weight and more in fresh seafood. Living on the beach, getting to go to the weekly fish subastas, which would be where the fishermen brought in fresh live catch, and you would do little auctions. You could barter for the fish, and so I used to take fish home probably once a week, every 2 weeks for my host mom to cook. And she's my second biggest thing that I brought home from Spain. My host mom and I are so close now. I've got to see her twice in the past couple of years. Thankful to all the St. Joe trips that we've been able to do to Europe and see her. So Yeah, my relationships and food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Me in a nutshell.
There's so much you can gain from travel. I think all of us have been a part of it, at least one, Mount St. Joe sponsored international trip, right? So certainly some great memories, and more coming up this year. But the Galapagos Islands that you and I did a couple summers ago.
It's pretty amazing.
Right. Some combinations of adventures and misadventures too that make some memories really, and how you
Yes.
deal with adversity sometimes, right? When you guys went to to China.
Vietnam.
Stranded in Beijing,
Yes, that could be
coming back
great.
from Vietnam. That was a
Right.
food mecca. Like Vietnam was the most amazing culinary experience or gastronomic experience. The food was so good. Although in China, when we got stranded, the tour company took us to the Great Wall because they stranded us in China, and the entire group ate at this restaurant, and we were seated in 2 different rooms, 2 different tables, and one of the rooms, everyone in the room got food poisoning, and thankfully I was in the room that did not get food poisoning. But yes, it was a long 13-hour flight
Well,
back
I
for some of the
bet.
lads.
I bet.
Yes, pre-COVID, so if you could walk, you could get on the plane. So, but no, the experience is, and this summer we're doing for the first time a outdoor leadership trip to Norway with 9 students, and it's camping 3 days in the fjords, and then kayak camping 2 days, and then it's all student led, and that's going to be another, I think, great experience for these guys to get some leadership experience that they could put on
Right.
college resumes, and plus you're in Norway, which is beautiful. So
Awesome. All right. So Mr. Ader, a question for you. As Director of Sustainability and STEM and innovation, what excites you the most about the direction that St. Joe is heading the last year or two?
So I think this is, just an exciting field because there's so many opportunities and new ways for our students to experience learning, experiential learning, we call it. We renovated the entire first floor. So if anybody's watching and hasn't been back here to Mount St. Joe, make sure they come back and see all these really cool science and STEM labs that we have, from just updated science facilities to a new makerspace and innovation lab, to a hydroponics room. A lot of people don't even know what hydroponics labs are, but we have one here at Mount St. Joe, and our students get the chance to grow food, from germinating seeds to using the sustainable way of farming. They grow food, and then they're able to harvest it and take it right outside our gates to help the people of Irvington here. So I think that's really great farm to table, where they're able to see how they can directly make an impact on their community, and our sustainability program allows that. So that's really cool. And then our STEM program, which Mrs. Schick here is an important part of as one of our coordinators, I think is so fun because we try and show how in the 21st century, education's not in silos. Like when, maybe when we were in school, like, oh, you had Spanish here and history here. Like, we try and show how you're going to be using technology and some of this makerspace equipment in a variety of job fields, so that it's just not one area. You can be a college prep student in taking college prep Spanish and go into the makerspace and make a Spanish puzzle or make topographic maps in a history class. That everything can be hands-on, and we're trying to break down those barriers. So that's what really excites me about STEM and sustainability, is I get to work with amazing people with this, and we just gotta get to dream, and we just kind of sit and like figure out how to make projects work. It's a lot of fun so far.
Excellent. So, as I look around this table and I look at myself as well, and consider all the years that we've been here, it's 35 for me actually this year. So I've been here for quite a while. But what has kept you at St. Joe as long as you've been here? Because a lot of people that do come to work here do stay for a while.
It's the boys. It's the boys. I mean, when I first started here, people asked, what I'm into and whatnot, and immediately I got called into video game club, and I actually got to meet, like Thomas Vaccaro, and then I met Sean Hurley, and those were like my 2 main guys my first year. And now, year 8, we're now going to Crabtown. We have more game nights than we used to. We're represented. You know, I get to see these guys really just build their friend group from their freshman year and just see it strengthen over the years, and that is really, really cool. It's really special because, I mean, I can teach Spanish wherever
Right.
I would be called to teach Spanish, but to get to see those boys just, you know, and what they bring for me, because I get to be my own self when we're together on Tuesdays. So it's fun. They keep me coming back.
Awesome.
I think that's a point that Mrs. Schick just made there. Like, if all I do at the end of the day is teach chemistry, then I failed as a teacher at St. Joe, right? Like, we're called to be so much more here, and that's why we stay here. I think so many people stay for so long. This becomes like a family for many of us. There's so many days when I'll just go over to Mr. Campbell's house for a fire pit. We're not just colleagues. We're friends. Like, you have become an incredible mentor to me from when I was, a student here to you're both a friend. You were in my wedding, with this, that St. Joe is a family, and we see those enduring personal relationships form with the boys to start, really flourish on things through our retreat programs, especially senior retreat, right? You see that coming to age, and then just at the reunions, and when we get back here, even if you're not an alum, you can start really feeling that this place it's special. There's something special here. It's all about that enduring personal relationship. We are relationship based. We've stayed in Baltimore. We have a relationship with Baltimore, a relationship with our students, a relationship with our community. Like, St. Joe is a school of relationships, and I think that's why people stay here.
I agree.
Yeah.
3 out of the 4 people in my house are in this school right now, which is wild. And I think there are 5 teachers that have freshman sons here this
Right.
year. And, both what Mr. Ader and Ms. Schick said are important, but definitely the faculty relationships, the staff and the faculty, everyone, makes this place what it is. And then seeing guys that we taught, out. Mrs. Campbell goes to colleges, and she hasn't gone to a college yet where she hasn't run into a St. Joe student, like
right.
in the dining hall or whatever. And I don't know if that's as common anywhere else. And it may not be definitely common in a larger public school, but like even in a private school, I think that we have something that is special here for sure.
Yep. And on top of that too, I think that because our graduates come to understand and be a part of that family when they have that kind of ability to interact with other people that they meet in their lives beyond Mount St. Joe, and I think it shows. I've had many people kind of tell me there's something different about the guys that come out of Mount St. Joe when they go to college, when they're in the workplace, and they can tell. I've had more than one alumnus come back, and even when they didn't reveal that they were from Mount St. Joe, they got a question. It's like, where did you go to school? And when they say Mount St. Joe, the person's just like, I thought so, because they recognize that quality. This is a special sauce that's been prepared for us again by State Fair. is a mystery sauce, and so
Bring it.
I'm told that we have to be ready for it. Are we ready?
All right.
I got a saucy one here.
Yours
Oh.
is very saucy.
Are you
Mine's-
afraid? Is that fear?
For me, yes.
Oh, that's a dainty little piece that you have there.
Just a little kick to it.
That
Like it?
definitely does.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Well, that immediately.
This is announcing its presence.
Right on
This
the
one-
lips.
This is not like waiting for the.
Remember how I said I got
happen.
stung by a bee?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And we've reached for the milk.
Oh yeah, this is good.
Oh.
This has got some spice, and it gets you on the back end.
I actually got the front
Oh,
end.
good
You got
Yeah,
front
yeah,
end?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and the back end.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of all around.
Yeah.
360, one might say.
Slams into both walls.
I feel like I'm a
You're
little kid
eating.
again, drinking
You're
this morning milk.
you're eating all of it.
These are delicious wings.
They are delicious wings.
Mm.
Ahem.
Oh yeah.
This
Okay.
is
Mm-hmm.
this is what the people want.
Mm-hmm.
This
It
is
is.
People want, they
this
can
is
have
what the
it.
people want right now.
You're gonna be able to hold off on that milk. Just
I'm gonna
question.
need milk number 2. I'm gonna have both of y'all.
You're welcome to my milk.
Oh, this is so good.
This is delicious,
And
and
having
it's
a
got a perfect amount of heat to
I'm
it.
having a great time. This is so much fun right now.
This is good.
So glad I'm doing this.
Cue the AC.
You're doing great.
Cue fan.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay, that's done.
This is a good. That is a good spicy wing.
That is good. And
What was the-
it's lasting.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's lingering. It's holding
Yeah,
on.
It's holding on.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Yeah, that is unfortunate. In the best possible way.
How many of those do you think you could eat?
That
That
half.
That's good.
That half was fine for me.
We're done, right?
I'll tap on that wing. I mean, I'll have the 6th one, but I'm gonna tap on that one.
Okay, that's
That's good.
that is something.
I think we need a break before we move on to the next one. Well,
Okay.
because again, I feel like I'm still eating that wing, even though
Yeah,
I put it
that's
down,
something.
at least a minute ago.
I'm sweating.
If
Not doing great.
it's for anybody, if you could
Oh, this
go
thing.
back and tell your high school self one thing, what would that be? What advice would you give yourself if you had the chance to say something to your 14-year-old self?
Maybe put a little more effort into your math classes. That would definitely be something.
Say.
All the grief that your parents give you is for a reason. And I don't know when, but one day when you learn the lessons that they intended to teach you and it all comes full circle, you'll appreciate all those tough lessons and frustrating moments throughout your high school years, for sure.
I think I would say try to make the most of it, like, which is common, but like I think it was until my junior year that I really found my stride here at school. Was a kid coming from Carroll County, and we didn't have a lot of students coming from that area, so I didn't know many people at St. Joe, so it just took some time. But you know, once I found junior year with the junior retreat, and then just some of the classes I was in, I really found my group of friends, and it took off. And I kind of wish that would have started maybe a little bit earlier. So I think we say to freshmen, just get involved, find the clubs, get involved as much as possible. As something I wish I would have taken advantage of a little bit more.
And I think too that just sometimes be patient, because sometimes if you're searching for something and you don't find it right away, you can't give up right away, because things don't sometimes take a little longer. And the older you get, of course, right? A year, a month, a week, or whatever, so a smaller chunk of time, and an entire week or an entire month maybe seems like an eternity, maybe for someone just starting out in high school. But things do sometimes take some time. So
You know what takes
be
some
patient,
time?
young man, is what I would tell
Yeah.
myself.
What's taking some time is for the fire to leave my
dissipate.
mouth at the moment. And when you said eternity, it literally is, in a way,
Yeah.
what a feeling at the moment. But this is great. So awesome.
It's not fading.
No.
No, it's not, it's definitely not fading.
It's a good
Yeah.
wing. It's a good wing.
That is how some could describe it, yeah.
Good wing. I definitely, having, and you experienced this already with Andrew coming through here, like, I want my son's experience to be as good as my experience was here. And it's a challenge as a parent to kind of let them navigate their own path
It's true.
and not
Right.
want to be, not overbearing, but, you know, having as much influence. But, you know, that's wild to see, you know, those other sons of faculty members whose sons are also freshmen who I've known for a long period of time, watching them all kind of be here at the same time. Because when Andrew's class came through, I knew a bunch of those guys as well, and it was just wild watching them progress through here.
Yep.
And now it's a whole different ball game. How old's James?
And James, so my son he's almost 8 now, and so I want that same experience for him. Like, I'll bring him up to games or to different, you know, events that's going on, and I just love seeing how the guys interact with him.
Yep.
And it just makes me so excited for what's in store for them. And you know, there's just something special about this. Like, you know, you want your son to be here and have that great experience, and I think that's why so many people come back to teach, why we stay. But I think we have so many alums who just never
Yep.
grow up, in a way, and it's a lot of fun, like seeing a kid that you taught becoming a teacher
Yep.
themselves. I mean, it's so fulfilling seeing any of our students go into their career and just, growing up, but, still being that same person they were, the genuine kid they were at St. Joe. So Yep.
Would you like the milk?
Oh, I'm gonna get a refill. Don't worry.
Here.
Don't do that. You don't have to. You can just keep your milk. She can have a refill.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with taking a sip of your milk at some point.
I'm not thirsty.
You know, there's some things off camera that are being said. I would just like to make that clear right now. So,
Who's ready for the last wing?
Bring it on.
We ready?
My mouth's already on fire. Bring it on.
So, are we gonna?
So, in line with the show, that is aired, on YouTube, and this is the Gales Give Back version here at Mount St. Joe campus of Hot Ones. We are going to do the last dab experience and actually be dipping our wing.
I mean, you could pour it right on if you wanted.
You're supposed to dab the wing.
Or you can
into
dip the wing.
The
where
last
we
dab.
go.
Yep.
I believe
last
that's what.
dab.
Yeah, the word dab would refer to.
Have you watched the show?
Okay, we just pour.
Great. Which wing would you like?
Take that one right there.
I'm good at pouring solutions. Okay.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, that is unfortunate. That was. I just.
You're
I
good
was
at pouring
going-
solutions,
All right.
okay.
I realized the irony
Oh.
of what just happened
I
here.
cannot wait.
baby.
That
Let's go ahead.
explains the
No,
educational explosion in the
It's
Camelot.
gonna pass that over. Oh my goodness.
So that's
Slowly,
yeah.
That's a
slowly.
healthy dose.
Yeah, we went over a meniscus.
I mean, did you? Was it on purpose?
Here.
Was that on
No,
purpose?
no, that's
Seems like you're a professional solution pourer. I don't know.
okay. You know what?
Yes.
Oh goodness, you
All
are
right.
really on something else here today.
Woo!
I-
Before I start crying and flooding my contact lenses,
This has
Yeah.
already been dipped
Out of
into
my
the
eyeballs.
sauce, though, right?
yep, it's already sauced, and now we are dabbing.
I just would like to make it
Some more
note that the
sauce?
people who are watching us, who are in studio, if you will, are like looking away in pain already.
They're laughing.
They're laughing
All right.
at us.
At you.
Okay.
All right.
We got to do this together.
Yep.
Cheers, my friends.
Cheers.
Count to three.
Don't we tell our students to not get into? All right.
three.
Salud.
Mhm.
Mm.
He says,
And it does taste good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Wait for it.
mm-hmm. Don't need to wait.
starts great.
Now this one,
And then it begins.
Oh, this is.
the last one
It builds a bit.
started,
Oh,
started at the
hello.
front and went back. This starts, for me, this is in the back and moving forward. Well,
How you doing?
okay. My nose is running a little bit, I will
Yeah,
say.
this is. Whew, that's.
Okay.
Oh,
That's great.
there we
feel,
go.
feel great right now.
There we go. All right.
I feel like I have the same expressions, body language, as like my students when they're taking a test. Right now, they're just not going well.
I'm sweating. I'm sweating.
Okay.
You guys
My
see
lips
all-
feel like somebody just poured lava on them. Okay. You want that ice cream?
Oh, you're starting to ice or what? What are you doing?
I have to eat most of the wing. It's a personal challenge. That's good.
Have fun. I'm on your ice cream.
Oh my gosh, this is horrible.
Greg, do you have a question for us?
Oh.
My brain right now is just like white out.
Yep.
Fuzz. Does anyone have any message for any of the donors who are supporting this campaign? Excuse me while I blow my nose again. I would like to just say thank you very much. Yeah. For
If we don't hit the total.
For the support that
Please get
so
back.
many of you show in so many different ways. You know, there's a phrase, the time, talent, and treasure that is used, and not everyone always has the treasure to share. And certainly, people give back in a great number of ways. But if you are able, to support any of the things that go on behind the scenes here, Mount St. Joe, and to understand that it's the kids that get the direct benefit of any kind of donation. I would love to just thank you for that support, and on behalf of really of the students, many of whom could not be here without the support of donors, and so it's really for them. It's why we're here, and it's why you give back to your school.
Whew, absolutely. As I'm having an out-of-body experience from that hot sauce. Yeah, none of us would be able to be
It's not
here
gonna
and do anything without donors. And
You're catching these tears on my close-ups
Whew.
here.
I'm officially
Yes.
shivering because my nervous system is like, you're
that
hot.
was an
Yeah,
impressive
right.
wing.
You're free.
And again, all the wings were amazingly good from State Fair. That was awesome. That was no joke as a hot sauce.
So
Yeah.
put
Sure.
some hairs on your chest,
Whew.
boys.
That is
Absolutely.
something.
You gonna finish that?
No, I'm not. I did what I needed to do there.
This was fun in a kind of
Sadistic.
like a very, very painful, the same sort of way that sometimes I say, I don't know, I've done some triathlons and like crawled across the finish line and then say that was really fun. It's kind of that kind of masochistic streak in me that
No,
said
no,
this was
it's-
fun as well.
It was fun. It was fun until a few minutes ago.
Pain is weakness leaving the body.
This is true.
That's what people say who aren't, experiencing this right here.
Could you eat another one of those?
No,
No,
no.
my one bite was plenty.
Well, thank you again to participants here in the Hot Wings Challenge for Gales Give Back. We survived. We have some ice cream eating to do to cleanse our palates. I think
Yes.
a gallon each would be on order at this point. So again, thanks once again, and thanks to all for watching, and thanks for those giving back to the Gales Give Back campaign. We totally appreciate your support, and go Gales.
Go Gales. Thank
Go
you.
Gales.
Go Gales. Thank
Thank
you.
you.